with we finished with the last day of Yeshua, but there's still some more words to be said, through the Gospels here. If we look, this week's words of the Master is dealing with a couple days later, a few days later, actually. If we look at Mark 16, 1 through 11, John 20, 1 through 18, and then also Luke 24, 13 through 32, we'll see where Yeshua has risen. I want to look at a couple things over here. I want to read through. Let's first just look over at I want to look at I want to read through John. Let's look at Mark's version. Let's look at Mark 16 and read 1 through 11. There's some interesting things that we can see over there in regards to the resurrection here.
All right, Mark 16 and 1. And when the Shabbat was passed, Miriam and Magdala and Miriam, the mother of Jacob, and Shalom bought spices to go and anoint him. And very early on day 1 of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. And they said among themselves, "Who shall roll away the stone from the entrance of the tomb for us?" And looking up, they saw that the stone had been rolled away, for it was extremely large. And having entered into the tomb, they saw a young man sitting on the right, wearing a white robe, and they were greatly astonished. And he said to them, "Do not be much astonished. You seek Yeshua of Nazareth, who was impaled. He was raised. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. And go, say to his taught ones and Kepha that he was going before you to Galilee. You shall see him there as he said to you." And they went out and fled from the tomb and were trembling and bewildered. And they spoke to no one, for they were afraid. And having risen early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Miriam and Magdala, from whom he had cast out 7 demons. She went and reported to those who had been with him, mourning and weeping. And when they heard that he was alive and had been seen by her, they did not believe.
Okay, very good. So there's a couple things I wanted to look at over here. It's very interesting. We think about Yeshua rising. There's a couple things when we think about this, the resurrection of Yeshua. You always have to think about this thing, this tradition that we have, this Good Friday thing, which I think it doesn't make any sense to me. I think that it's not long enough. It's not long enough. But these verses here are interesting because when we look at Mark 6, when the Sabbath was passed, where we at right here in verse 1? I wonder. Where is this talking about? What day are we talking about here? The weekly Shabbat? Yeah. In verse 1?
I would say so.
Oh, you think so?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Because it'll be the next day if it wasn't.
What you mean will be the next day?
It'll be on Friday.
When the Sabbath was passed?
Well, depending on what day, how you count, 3 days and 3 nights or something.
No, I'm just saying
Some
like
people
verse.
started on Wednesday. Some people started on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night.
No, but you just said that this verse 1 is the weekly Sabbath.
Yes, that's what I said.
I'm not sure about that.
So then there'd be 2 days then.
What do you mean 2 days?
There would be two. I mean, it would be First one would be talking about the weekly Sabbath. The day after the Shabbaton, and then verse 2 would be the weekly Sabbath.
You like that verse? You like that method of thinking about it? Because I do.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of do.
So,
Because, and I'll just say why. There's a few reasons.
It's a Passover, right?
If we said that this verse 1 is a regular Shabbat, are we saying then that so it's nighttime and then they go and buy spices at night to go over to the tomb at night and anoint him? Or was they gonna do it in the morning? I guess they get there in the morning. Like the stores, just feel like the stores is closed. Anything till tomorrow.
I thought that when we read it, and I was thinking maybe they had already bought these spices.
Oh, this is just a matter of fact. It's the Shabbat passed. These women
They had
at some point in
time
bought spices,
Yes.
and then they go to anoint.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I think there's room to stretch it because they bought spices. They're about to go make this oil with the spices. So they got to actually do it. The preparation. I think the argument could be made if we're talking about Wednesday night, evening, he's killed and put in the tomb before the sun goes down. Thursday day happens, and then Thursday night, the first day of unleavened bread is over. Now you have Friday, the day part. You can literally go to the store on Friday, get this stuff, make this stuff, and think about going over to where he's at to put it on him. But the problem is, there's a problem.
You got more nights then. You got 4 nights.
Well, that's not the problem. The problem is that when we look at the problem is that Pilate, I think it's in Matthew. Let's go to Matthew. Go to Matthew. What do it say in Matthew 27? $60 maybe? $62. Oh, you can start at 60. Start at 60.
It says in
Start
late,
at go up. Yeah, you can start at 59.
and having taken the body, Joseph wrapped it in clean linen and laid it in his tomb, which he had hewn out of the rock. And he rolled a large stone against the door of the tomb and went away.
Okay, let's just pause right there for a moment. If we think about what happens in John adds the fact that Nicodemus was partnered with him and bought a whole bunch of anointing oil. So when they originally put him in there, he got anointed and wrapped with a whole bunch of oil, which they said was like 75 pounds of oil. It was a huge amount of, I don't know if it was 75 pounds. It was a huge amount that, if it wasn't a huge amount, it was a very expensive amount that both him and Joseph of Arimathea wrapped him in. Originally, right? Okay, keep going. Oh, and the other thing is, I think that even though it's saying that he rolled the large stone against the door of the tomb and went away, this this wealthy person, if he told his people to do it, then he did it too. I'm saying that this was a heavy thing. He wasn't just pushing a big large stone across a door just by itself. I think if he says for it to be done,
Right.
it's the same thing as him doing it.
He commissioned.
I think we have to think about that also. Okay. Okay, go ahead. 61.
And Miriam and Magdalene was there, and the other Miriam sitting opposite the tomb.
Okay, so they're spying out and seeing where the place is at, because later on we got to come back here at some point and check up on things. So they see where it's at. Okay, keep on going. 62.
On the next day, which was after the preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered together to Pilate, saying, Master, we remember while he was still alive, how the deceiver said, after 3 days, I am raised. Command then that the tomb be safeguarded until the third day, lest his top ones come by night and steal him away, and should say to the people, he was raised from the dead, and the last deception shall be worse than the first. So Pilate said to them, you have to watch, go safeguarded as you know how. And they went and safeguarded the tomb, stealing the stone and sealing the stone and setting the watch.
Okay, very good. So herein lies my problem. In between time, from the time that he goes in there and the time that he come out, the soldiers, the neutral soldiers, the guys who are just doing what Pilate said do, are guarding the tomb, and they've sealed the tomb. So until the third day, because they're waiting for somebody to come, for Judas to come and go in there and switch bodies with them. They're waiting for the deceivers to come and steal the body and do the shenanigans. They don't want that to happen. So they got the guards there. And so they're going to, no one can go there in between time to do anything in the tomb inside of the 3 days. Because there's guards there and it's sealed.
Yes.
Okay, so that's number one. Nobody could go there in between time and do anything. Even though, if we think about it from a Wednesday night crucifixion day, there's time on Friday to do it. You got all Friday to do it, theoretically speaking. But you can't do it because it's guarded and nobody could get in there. The place is sealed. And so I'm saying that potentially the argument could be made if we go back to Mark chapter 1. The high day Sabbath has passed. They go and get the spices. They can't go near no earlier than the third day. But then on the third day, very early on the first day of the week, they go there. And so I think the argument can be made that there's a gap between 1 and 2. The gap is the time that they went and go bought the spices and mixed the spices and made the spices so that they could go anoint him, but not that they went straight over there because, again, if we say that that's the weekly Shabbat, now you're doing all this stuff at night. And I don't know where you're going to buy this stuff at. Technically, you can buy and sell at nighttime, but we do that now with electricity and lights everywhere. Stuff is closed at night in this time.
So you're saying they bought the spices on the prep day for the Sabbath?
I think
Friday.
they did. I think that's the opportunity that they had to do it.
If you look at Matthew's account, 28:1, it says they go late in the Sabbath when the first week was drawn. So they went right after Shabbat. It wasn't even on Sunday. It was.
Oh, you talking about when they went to the?
When they went after they had bought it on Friday, like you're saying on Friday.
Go over to that. Go over
But
to that.
late in the Sabbath, it was drawing near into the day 1 of the week. So it was just getting ready to be day 1 of the week. I think they went up.
Yeah.
So this whole
The late
Sunday,
Sabbath.
I think it was still technically Sabbath, but it was sundown, so they went right before. So it was probably pretty late.
Yeah.
Did the Sabbath thing. Who knows how far they were when they were at the Sabbath, but
28:1. Oh yeah, what's that say there?
But late in the Sabbath, as it was dawning into day 1 of the week, Miriam from Magdala and the other Miriam came to see the tomb.
I think that. I think the difference is that if we look at Mark and we look at 28, Mark 16:1 and Matthew 28:1. I don't know if we can make those be separate times. Like this, I mean, not 1 verse 2. I think it makes sense for it to be. I think it makes sense for them to be daytime. Like they had a task. Like what they wanted to do was treat the body. And I can understand the urgency to go there as soon as possible, as soon as humanly possible, which would be as soon as the Shabbat is over. That's how we are, I got to get to the store, man. As soon as Shabbat's over, I'm going to be there.
I get to Walmart.
Right, it's nighttime. But I think that the only issue with that is that it's nighttime. You know what I mean?
So are you a you know how they do the sunrise service? Are you a sunrise service proponent or a
I think
nighttime
I
proponent?
think that what we're looking at without I hear what you're saying, but I think that what we're looking at here, I think the argument can be made that they're going there at daytime.
Well, when you say daytime, you're saying at sunrise.
I'm saying that it's not nighttime.
In the morning.
Yes, I'm saying at morning
At first
when they're going.
light.
To me, it makes sense that they are going there, looking both at Matthew 28 and Mark 16 together. It makes sense that they're going there for what they're going there to go do at daytime.
When you say daytime,
I mean it
like
in the plain
daytime,
sense
or do you mean
of the word.
beginning of the day.
at the beginning of the daytime?
Like it's still dark.
It's like
That-
dark
that's-
is, it's like
that's the whole, we've debated.
I know,
about
but if
this.
you're going to a place early in the morning, like we go to work, when I get there, it's still dark. And we stand around for like an hour, and then the sun starts to come up. And so we're there fully intended to work at daytime, like with the sun up. When we get there, it's not up yet. It's coming up. It's coming up, but it's about to come up. And so, but the whole time we're there, whether it's Boker or whether it's full out daytime, I'm saying it's daytime. And so what I'm saying is,
okay,
is
so
that
you're past the sunrise.
what you mean?
It
I'm saying if they
it
get there
began to dawn
I'm saying if they
toward
get
the
there-
first day of the week.
I'm saying if they get there at, I'm saying you could say beginning to dawn at the first day of the week is Erev. You could say that that's Erev. It's using the word dawn,
Yes.
but that's just a mixture.
So I'm saying, could they have went
But
out?
I'm saying
when
that
it
it's-
was like it was still the Sabbath. It was still the Sabbath. The sun was setting,
I think no.
and they were going out at the last light.
I don't think that that's what they were doing. I don't think that that's what they were doing. I think because, again, if we're going back to Mark, they still got to get the spices.
No, I'm saying they already. I'm saying according to what you were saying before, they bought the spices on Friday. They already have the spices.
Made up.
It's everything's good to go, and then
And to go there at nighttime to do it.
no, not.
But then we also had to add in the fact that the guards are supposed to be there watching.
The guards was put into a slumber, must have been, because they were still there. Weren't the guards still in the cartoon versions? of
Was
it,
the
guards? The guards are asleep. Like, but the guards
but
are
the
there,
time
but they're
but
asleep.
the time period though. So they was gonna defeat the guards and then go do what they had
No,
to
I
do.
mean, obviously, it was very.
They had they had the idea in their mind, how was we gonna get this stone moved?
I don't know how they. I don't know why they even went. They went in faith.
They didn't know how they was gonna even get the stone moved.
If you look up that Greek word dawn, and I ain't about to try to pronounce it, but it says to begin to grow light. So beginning to, like you're saying, it was most likely they
Well,
probably didn't sleep
I think
Yeah, they
that
probably did.
I think the argument could be made that
Sunday.
I'm saying the argument can be made that it's Erev, like how you originally said that it was nighttime,
Yeah.
because if you're talking about the day getting ready to start,
Yeah.
that's the point that you're making. The day is getting ready to start, and so it's dawning into
Then
effect.
The next day.
But in all actuality,
It's the light.
the light's going away when the day's beginning.
Yes.
And so I'm saying that when they are going there, the day part of the day is beginning,
Yeah.
not the night part is
Yeah,
beginning.
I see.
The Proverbs 31. They They're Proverbs 31 women.
Oh, they.
The last one is still.
I see what you're saying.
But
Well,
that's just early in the morning.
okay. So I think where I'm like looking at it is, I don't know. To me, they could have already had the spices. They bought them like, a while back, and they already had them, or they bought them before going here. But I think that whenever someone goes on a hike, and we know people who do hikes, they go to a place and it'll still be dark whenever they start, but then like the light starts to come out. You know what I
that's
mean?
what I was saying.
So that's kind of what I'm seeing is
I'm saying it's Boker.
that Boker, and then but he had already. The point is that he had already risked.
Oh yeah,
That's
when
how
they
he
get
got
there,
there.
he's gone.
He's already gone.
But he could have just been gone because you know the we read the part where they talk to the angels that was there
I don't know, we didn't read that part.
because they get there and like the angels they're like he ain't here.
Yeah.
He gone.
that's what he said. Yeah, I heard that.
So they could have just
Yeah, he gone. Go tell them that.
they
he
could have
gone.
just been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that you could look at this to be. It could be looked at. You could make the argument that it's nighttime,
Yeah.
like Erev, and you know because for us, the day begins. The beginning of the week begins at night, and so you could make the argument that that's what that is.
When did that start though? When did that start where the
What?
day begins at night?
Oh, when there was evening and there was morning, and then that was the day. That was the first day.
Right, evening, then morning. That was the first day. You're saying it begins at night, but it says evening, then morning.
Well, there was evening and there was morning, and the encapsulation of that is a day.
But you're saying it starts at evening, but it says evening, then.
I know, but what I'm saying is that there was evening and then there was morning, and then that's a day. So evening, Erev, is the going in, is the going out of the light, Erev. And then there was morning, that's the coming
Okay.
in
Coming in
of the light. But if we just stop at morning,
you don't make it through the day.
you don't even get to technical day. So it's giving you the beginnings of both processes, and the whole encapsulation of it is a day. Erev is because it's really Erev and Lila and Boker and Yom.
Yeah.
It's really the four parts of the day, but it's only giving you
The
those
mixtures.
beginning portions, and in the fullness of the portions is implied. There was evening and there was morning, the day. And so when the day begins is when the sun goes down. And so I'm saying that when we look at this, somebody could say that 28 and 1, they go there at nighttime, getting ready to, like at literal nighttime, at Erev, the dawning of day 1, the beginning part of day 1 at nighttime, to put the spices on. Somebody could make that argument. I'm saying, I think they go there at Boker in the morning time, when it's dark still, getting ready to be daytime. Like they're ready to go. Like if you're going fishing, you go to the place and you get the worms. It's dark out. By the time you get to the place, by the time you get out there fishing, the sun is coming up.
Yeah, it says that it's still late in the Sabbath.
Well,
Would
the
be
thing
that
is
it
that
wouldn't be the next day.
the problem is that with the words, you could be saying it's Sabbath.
Yeah.
You could be saying week. You could be saying a lot of things right there. And then you also got to couple it with the other, you can't put the Matthew against Mark. Like you can't put them together. You got to understand how they work. I mean, you can't put them against each other. You got to understand how they work together. And so it's one saying that he's going at night, and the other one saying that he's going at day. Or are they saying the same thing but in different ways? I think they have to be. They agree. They agree with one another. One says late. One says early. You know what I mean? So which one? I think that we could understand it as being late in the Sabbath, as if to say, or late in the week, or it's about to be over. You know, the King James says in the end of the Sabbath.
Where's
And so it's like it's just about the translation. Once you get it into English, is where it kind of gets confusing. But I think the putting them all together, to me, it seems like it helps it to understand what it's saying.
Yeah, just
Like I'm just saying, like from a general perspective, even though they want to get over there and do whatever they got to do, it's nighttime. You know what I mean? Like the task that they have at hand, they got to get over there. They got to. He's already wrapped up. They got to unwrap him. They got to put oil all over his body and wrap him back up. Like it's not really a nighttime job. And so I'm just thinking about all of those things that they're doing, and also putting that with what the words are saying over here. And they only have they don't have they got to be outside of the window of the seal and the guards, and so the time period got to be up in order for them to even get in there, which is another thing that I think we have to take into.
after the Thursday.
It got to be past the time period in order for them to even get past the seal.
I never even thought of that
Yeah.
perspective.
Amen.
Pass the seal. Now, like, I need to see some more in this, of the narrative here, because they go and then they start telling people that he's alive
After they've been there, yes.
after they've talked to the angel. So how long does it take for them to leave out and get to the tomb? If they leave out after, if it says like they left out after the sunset, and it's not going to take them a whole night to get to the tomb to then start going out and
Well-
telling people,
That's the other thing. They haven't went home yet,
yes,
because Galilee, the disciples, to get back to Galilee is 3 to 5 days walking.
did they all go back to Galilee?
Well, all of them don't belong in Galilee, but the disciples,
The main ones he got from Galilee.
the main ones, for them to go back home, Capernaum, is
That's
3 to
far.
5 days. 3 days is the short way through the dangers of Samaria. And so they never left their kind of temporary Passover dwellings yet, is the other thing. And so they're close. You know, let's look at John. Let's go to John. John has also a version. John 20. Look at John 20 and start reading at verse 1.
21, and on day 1 of the week, Miriam and Magdala came early to the tomb while it was still dark. There you go, right there. And saw that the stone had been removed from the tomb. So she ran and came to Simon Kepha, and to the other top one whom Yeshua loved, and said to them, "They have taken the master out of the tomb, and we do not know where they laid him." And Kepha and the other top one went out, and they were going to the tomb. And the two were running together, but the other top one outran Kepha and came to the tomb first. And stooping down, he saw the linen wrappings laying, but he did not go in. Then Simon Kepha came following him and went into the tomb, and he saw the linen wrappings laying, and the cloth which had been on his head, not lying with the linen wrappings, but folded up in a place by itself. So then the other top one, who came to the tomb first, also went in, and he saw and believed, for they did not yet know the scripture, that he has to rise again from the dead. Therefore the top ones went away again by themselves. Keep going. It says, but Miriam was standing outside by the tomb weeping. Then she wept. As she wept, she stooped down to the tomb and saw the two messengers in white sitting, one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Yeshua had been laid. And they said to her, Woman, why do you weep? She said to them, Because they took away my master, and I do not know where they laid him. And having said this, she turned around and saw Yeshua standing, but she did not know that it was Yeshua. Yeshua said to her, Woman, why do you weep? Whom do you seek? Thinking he was the gardener, she said to him, Master, if you have carried him away, say to me where you put him, and I shall take him away. Yeshua said to her, Miriam. She turned and said to him, Rabboni, which means teacher. Yeshua said to her, Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, and to my Elohim and your Elohim. Miriam from Magdala came announcing to the top ones that she had seen the Master and that he had told her this.
Okay, very good. So if we go back up to the beginning over here, to me, I think when we add these all together, it's dark, but it's morning dark. And look at John is funny to me. John cracks me up. I don't know why he has to bring up the fact that he runs faster than Peter.
Yeah.
2 times.
He said, I'm going to make sure. They probably had a thing where they be foot racing, and they like, I'm writing that in mine. So everybody in history know.
I don't understand why he has to do that. He has to say that he's the one that Yeshua loved. And he has to say that he runs faster than Peter. Peter left first. I caught him, I flagged him, and then passed him. When he got there, he realizes that he's tired. He rests a little bit, and then finally Peter gets there after he's already was there.
I was waiting on him.
But here, so they go, like Miriam, she runs back, she tells them what happened. Then they run back, and they get there, and of course he's gone.
Oh my goodness.
And they see all this stuff over here, and then so they come and go, and then they don't see anything. And then Miriam, who's there, she's the one who sees these angels, and then now she sees also Yeshua, who talks to her. And so
Yeah.
at this point, the people, the watchers, they're not there anymore. They, from the time that the tomb gets rolled away, they've seen enough. Once this whole situation happens with the door being opened, kind of miraculously. But it's interesting that you see now this Yeshua, who speaks to Miriam here, and she don't recognize, like, she don't recognize his voice at first. And I think that like in her mind, like she don't like why would she? Because like he's dead. You know what I mean? So even if it sounded like him,
Yeah.
it don't make sense for it to have been him because she knows that he's dead. She watched him die. She watched him get put into the tomb,
Yeah.
and she watched it get closed. And so it don't make any sense for there to be somebody there that's talking to her and not actually be like Yeshua talking.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in her emotions. He has to call her name out, Miriam,
Yeah,
you know, and she's like, Rabboni?
it just snaps her out of it because, and you know, I think that to me, it helps to understand that like it don't make sense for him to be speaking to her at this point, even though you know Yeshua talked about all of this happening, but them not really having a full understanding as to you know what it would be. But you know, whenever he talks about the only sign that he will give is this sign of Jonah, you know, that was in the belly of the fish, or in the depths of the earth, the world, which I guess was in water, but it was under the earth, I guess. The symbol, the symbolic death that that Jonah gives, and being in the fish, and you know, emerging on the third day. And so Yeshua, of course, you know, this is, you know, what he has done, and he told them about it. But again, in the middle of it happening, I can understand why they were, you know, kind of not with it. But it's interesting because when you get to 17, it gives, to me, it makes it seem like he just, like it's like this literally just happened. Like they get there like just in time to not have seen it. To me, I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems like they get there just in time to kind of miss what just happened. With this fact that, you know, he said, I have not yet ascended to my Father. Like either he's just chilling for a while, or like it literally just happened. It doesn't say, but but again, when we look at this, you know, this is the resurrection. Like this is Yeshua returning. This is Yeshua at the other side of death. This is Yeshua kind of getting to the place of, you know, going past, you know, this is essentially the kind of the Torah portion. You look at Yeshua, where he has this place that he has to go. He can't not go. Like he's got to go to this place. In his case, this place is death. But he's at this place here. He's been to that place now and back. and the place wasn't able to defeat him. In fact, he defeated it, death. And he's right over here. And so it's interesting looking at this place, because when we get to this place here in John 17, again, it seems like to me it's kind of like just, to me, I feel like it's just happening. Like it's just happening because, again, he's kind of in this place where he's telling her, you know, don't try to hold me, because I have not yet ascended to my Father. What is it? Like, what is he like at this point? It's so interesting that it's kind of like this situation where it's not over yet. Like he's like, he didn't go, it's just like, did he just come out of, it's just like,
Yes, it's like a train. He's just going back up. He went to hell.
Yeah.
Did what he had to do. He's coming back up now. He's like, hey, I ain't going all the way back up yet.
So,
I'm coming back up. He said ascend to the Father. So that means a rise up. So he still got, another part that's what's going on.
it's just very interesting. Okay. Let's.
It reminds me also like of, he just was saying like he has like how people when they start talking to you and he's like, I have a hard stop at XYZ. It's like I got something, I got things to do. Like I can't have you have these long conversations with me right now.
I got to go. I got to go too.
I think it's interesting also that he says, my Father and your Father. I gotta go to my Elohim and your Elohim. Like he's making it be known that, because these are the ones that was there the whole time. They're only behaving the way that they're behaving because they didn't really understand what this looks like, what it was that Yeshua was saying that he was going to do up until the point that he does it. But, they believe. They just didn't have full understanding, I think, with their belief. Because once she recognizes his voice, she knows who it is that she's dealing with. She's not like, this is like I'm a dreaming or something. Like she understands that this is in fact Yeshua, and she probably is trying to grab him, I think. And Yeshua has to say, hold on, you can't just chill for a minute here. Like she understands what she's dealing with, I think, which is why I think he's saying what he's saying. I have to go to our Father. I have to go to our Elohim. She believes and she's seen what she saw,
Yes.
and she still believes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, there's a little bit more that we wanted to look at over here, because the risen Yeshua is very interesting because, first of all, because of this part that we see here, this kind of, it seems like it's kind of like a, I don't know if it's like a intermediate kind of a part here, when we look it's also interesting that they all went over to the tomb, and it's like the disciples go in. They go in, he's not there, and then they end up going back out. And then by the time Miriam there catches up to them both, now he appears to them. I mean, to her. I think that's something interesting.
Yes.
That, was it kind of a choosing to reveal himself in this way to her like this? Was it,
It had to. I think everything for that message, the way the message break down, everything's intentional. And because that's how people operate. Like we kind of need like certain things to happen in certain ways. And yeah, for them to manifest like that.
because they literally just leave. They literally just go away.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't see him. They just go away, and then now she sees these angels and him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would have just they would have been overtaken, and just maybe they would have tried to. Is that I mean I guess that caused you to think about this whole thing about this glorified body thing, because at this point where he stops her from touching him, where it almost gives you the idea that he's not complete. Like there's more that has to happen. Which to me is just it's mysterious, because I want to look at this other part. Let's go over to Luke 24.
She wanted to say something. You want to say something, April?
I just don't, did he have to come back in that way for his disciples, for his followers to believe? Because how he had Thomas had to stick his fingers in his side, I think, whatever, side or something. Did he have to come back in this state for faith in his people? I'm wondering.
Oh, you mean for them they needed to be able to touch him, is what you're saying?
Or he wanted them to believe before he ascended. I don't know. Something. I'm just wondering. What did he come back like that for?
Well, that's why I wanted to go over to Luke, because when we see him later, he's in another state, different from this original state that he's in when Miriam sees him. And so there, they don't want it. There's no touching. But then later, it's like a different. I think it's a different state that he's in. So I think going along with what Yuanthon is saying is that for whatever reason, they couldn't see him just like how he was, just right there. But she needed to, whatever that is probably just based on the individuals, them. And then when we see what happens later, is maybe they really do have to be able to touch in order to believe.
Because it says blessed are those who believe, who haven't seen. They got to see him, but I forget the scripture. We're more blessed. Yeah, you know the scripture.
Yeah. I guess the touching, for them is a sign that they needed. Where she didn't need a sign. All she needed to do was hear the familiar voice and see whatever it was that she saw.
Yes.
But I wanted to just go over to Luke 24 to just kind of talk about this other encounter a little bit. and then be done over here. If we could just go over to Luke 24 at verse 13.
Luke 24:13. And see, two of them were going that same day to a village called Emmaus, which was 60 strata from Jerusalem. It says, and they were talking to each other of all this which had taken place. And it came to be, as they were talking and reasoning, that Yeshua himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were restrained, so that they did not know him. And he said to them, what are these words you are exchanging with each other as you are walking, and you are sad? And the one whose name was Cleophas, answering, said to him, you are the lone visitor in Jerusalem who does not know what took place in these days. And he said to them, what are they said? And they said to him concerning Yeshua of Nazareth, who was a prophet mighty indeed in word before Elohim and all of the people, and how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death and impaled him. We, however, were expecting that it was he who was going to redeem Israel. But besides all this, today is the third day since these matters took place. But certain women of ours who arrived at the tomb early also astonished us. When they did not find his body, they came saying that they had also seen a vision of messengers who said he was alive. And some of those with us went to the tomb and found it, and also the women had said, but they did not see him.
Okay, could you stop right there? So it seems like whenever so these men, these two were also kind of disciples of Yeshua, who knew about Miriam originally seeing the empty tomb, coming back, telling the other two disciples they left and went to go see. They come back. They must have come back at this point, which again helps to the idea of them just being in this local place, because they're being able to go back and forth kind of so quickly or whatever. But so this is a time that the disciples was at the tomb, seen it empty, and came back in enough time for these guys to have heard about that part, but not Miriam's second encounter, where she actually sees Yeshua. But then they're having their kind of encounter, but it says that their eyes were restrained, so they did not know him, which is interesting, because was that something that was put on them, or was that just something that was like in them? You know what I mean? Was their eyes caused to be restrained, or was this something that is being done to them, or is already in them? Is I guess what I'm thinking about. It seems like it's something that's in. To me, it seems like it's something that's in them, not something that's being done to them, because.
Yes.
They didn't even hear about it yet.
Well, they didn't hear about.
The second.
Yeah, they didn't hear about Yeshua. Actually, so their eyes are just restrained just from the fact that to them he's dead already.
They're not expecting it. But like, did anyone really understand? I mean, other than the people that sent the guards there, did they really understand that it was going to be 3 days later?
Oh, you mean even though they
I mean, he
said,
said it. Obviously, some people knew what he meant because that's why they put guards there. They wouldn't put guards there otherwise. You know,
I mean, but those were the enemies who supposedly didn't believe it anyway.
the people. It seemed to me like the people who didn't believe believed it more because they didn't want somebody to come and try to say it happened. So
Yeah.
they told, they said we was going to put the guards there. Not that they necessarily believed he was going to raise, but they didn't want someone to come and do the switcheroo move. But essentially, they had, I don't want to say they had more faith. It seemed like the disciples should have just been sitting out in front of the tomb waiting for him to come back. Or maybe they didn't know that he was literally going to come back. Like, did he come back from the tomb? Or did he, like, I don't know why he had to actually come back from the tomb necessarily, except that his body was, I guess, in there.
Did he go back and get the body?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a spiritual thing.
Who,
so,
Yeshua?
like,
Yeah, he's pretty back on, right?
Like, did he come back all the way to the tomb and then go in there and get the body? Like, you know what I mean? He didn't have to actually. I'm saying that he didn't actually have to even have the body, but he did. You know, he went back and got the body. I'm just saying, like he didn't necessarily rise up in the tomb per se. He could have rose up, went in the tomb, got the body, and then came back out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think that body rose up and went with him.
At the same time.
I think if he came back, he was coming through that body.
Yeah.
So then he had. You're saying that he basically woke up inside the tomb.
I think he woke up like Lazarus, he just sat up.
You know, like it's time to go.
Like that was Yeshua's. Now we know that he the son of the Most High, so he can probably come through a animal or something. But his purpose was through that body. Everything to me had to be done through that body. So he was gonna die in it. He was gonna raise in it, and so every step he gonna use that body.
Until it's done.
Yeah, like that was basically the point to me.
That should be a song. That body.
It's the body he used.
Yeah.
And so, and that would, and him continuing to use that body to me would increase the faith of people who seen him in that body the whole
Be
time.
like, well, how do we know it's you?
Yeah, it's like, here I
The
am.
naysayers. But I guess what I'm saying is that going into the tomb gives that was it necessary for him to have risen in the body, or if he rose in the spirit and he came into the tomb, it rose the body. That's what I'm saying.
I think that all happened at the same time. Like, cause he probably rise in the spirit, but he had to do stuff in that body still. I think for the sake of their faith.
Okay, so let's go down. Let's go down to 25.
But where we in Luke still?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And he said to them, O thoughtless ones, and slow of heart to believe in all that the prophets have spoken. Was it not necessary for the Messiah to suffer these and enter into his esteem? And beginning at Moshe and all the prophets, he was explaining to them in all the scriptures the matters concerning himself. And they approached the village where they were going, and he seemed to be going on. But they urged him strongly, saying, Stay with us, for it is towards evening, and the day is declined. And he went in to stay with them. And it came to be, when he sat at the table with them, having taken the bread, he blessed, and having broke, he was giving it to them. And their eyes were open, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. And they said to each other, Was not our heart burning within us as he was speaking to us on the way, and as he was opening the scriptures to us? And rising up that same hour, they
Oh
returned.
yeah, that's good right there. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so now, so this kind of is this other kind of experience where Yeshua has kind of this lengthy kind of experience with these of his top ones, where he begins to start even teaching them and expounding on things. It said that their hearts, burned within them as he was speaking. Like they was having this like these revelations and things that they was experiencing as he was opening up the scriptures to them, but they didn't even know who they was talking to. Like he was saying all of that stuff all the way till it get down to 31 that their eyes was open and they recognized him then. But then as soon as as they was recognized, then he disappears in the light. I mean, from their sight. And so this is kind of like this extended situation where it seems like this is just Yeshua leaving from where he just was at with Miriam, where he has a situation with them. They don't really know who he is, so I guess they don't think to try to touch him. Maybe he's in the same state really that he was in with her.
I would think so.
Because he's there and then he isn't there.
Yeah, where that part, I wanted to mention that. Back in verse, we started talking about it, but I wanted to, where it talked about them not seeing them.
Oh,
Verse
where
was
they?
that?
That
Exchange of words.
was
16.
yeah.
It says, well, in King James it says, but their eyes were holden that they should not know him. I thought that was and then God's Word version, although they saw him, they didn't recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, was he like wearing something or like is it a disguise? Or is it like a spiritual? How this one says, yeah, their eyes were restrained and they did not know him. You asked if it was on purpose, or was it something in them, or was it spiritually done to them?
Yeah. I think when you get through it, it seems like them knowing who he was is kind of what ends the whole interaction. Once they understand that it's really him,
Right.
then now,
So now it was a spiritual thing. They didn't recognize him then. That's what I'm thinking.
yeah. But I'm saying that maybe he is like they're being blinded by him,
Right.
because as soon as they understand who he is, it got to be over. Like he can't even he just got to he disappeared.
Exactly.
They don't even know where he was at. Like once they see who he is. What was the King James version of 16 says what?
It says, but their eyes were holden that they should not know him.
As if to say, so that. The scriptures say, but their eyes were restrained so that they did not know him.
So I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Cause he could have easily was like, "Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm here." Like, all right, what y'all talking about? Like,
Because even the way that he's talking to them like y'all talking about this this Yeshua person and sad about him not being there, but he talked about coming back on the third day. This is the day. And then when he goes into like when he begins, where it says that he began at Moses and all the prophets explained to them the scriptures and matters concerning his own self. I think that it seems like that's how they get to, he kind of jars this knowledge and understanding inside of them. That's how they get to the point of recognizing them. It's going through all of those things. So I think that this kind of is still kind of whatever state he was in when Miriam sees him. I think here, to me, I feel like this is the same
Yeah.
state.
He just
Like that just happened. They ran away. He deals with Miriam. Don't touch me. I got to go back to the father, and then he disappears from her. And then next thing you know, you see these other guys who was back where John and Peter was, where they made it back to in time to at least tell them what had just happened, and then they're off some ways away, by the way, where there's they're going to this place that's almost 7 miles away, which is a little bit of a journey. And Yeshua, he's just going around talking to these people because they're going to some other place. He's just manifesting himself to these different ones in these various places before he has this other situation. But
Yeah, he breaking bread and stuff. He eating some what he like. Hey, I'm telling y'all right now. And then he took his hood off his head. 'Cause it's like
it's either like a cloaking kind of a thing, or he just it's just like
that's funny.
I don't know. And what they just don't recognize him. They just don't recognize him.
Yeah, whatever we was reading, verse 16, their eyes being restrained. It's at that point that how he probably did that, and then towards, I don't know, whatever likeness he changed to or showed himself as to them, and then as he was done teaching them, he took it off and was like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, but which is interesting, kind of being done. But it's interesting when you look at kind of even just the imagery of what's going on with Yeshua, where him walking around in plain sight and those that are around not recognizing that as Messiah standing right there. Which, this was his life on earth, really. Him walking around in the sight of all of the people and nobody understanding who it was that they was dealing with, at any given time. And so even in these initial moments, you kind of see the same kind of a thing with Yeshua. The risen Yeshua is standing in front of these people who, in his, I guess, former state at this point, in his former state, were the closest ones to him. But now in kind of this risen state, they no longer kind of recognize him. He's unrecognizable to them.
It reminds me of scripture, like some of you encountered angels.
Unaware.
Unaware.
Yeah.
Because if it's a small town, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Just roll it up.
Garage talking.
Yeah, like stay with us. Yeah, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
listen.
I mean, they took a vid though. Stay with us. You know what I mean? You sit over talking about the scriptures. You one of us. But I think that it just, to me, it just makes me think about the fact that, you know, what it is we kind of receive with this this truth in this walk that we're in, where we kind of become like unrecognizable to those that once knew us, and even that should know us, right? Yeshua is talking with people that really was classified as his followers, and he's standing right in front of them, talking to them and expounding on himself in their presence, and they're not fully getting it for whatever reason. I think mostly because they, for all intents and purposes, like he shouldn't be there. From a physical standpoint, he should be dead. But I think the key is that once they know, they know, and so it's just interesting, kind of seeing how all of these things play out, and them experiencing kind of this interactions that they're having with Yeshua, and kind of getting these little blessings. They probably, to have spoken with Yeshua in this way and hearing the things that he was saying, where it talks about them, kind of having these feelings and things inside of them when he's teaching them, probably things that they was probably like, wow, I never even heard anything like what you talking about before. Like, just, maybe we could talk about this all night. Like, it's, what I mean? It's like to realize after the fact what it was that they seen, I think it just kind of, it's just interesting that, the way that kind of Yeshua kind of like, it's almost like he's tempering them. He's getting them ready, like bringing them up to speed in order to really just kind of manifest himself fully to them, but in intervals. Like, it's not like
At the end of the conversation?
well, I'm saying all together, like how he kind of just is, like he had this interaction with Miriam where he's talking to her and she don't know who he is, and then now she does, and like with them, he's talking to them and they don't know who he is, and then it's like he's doing this with all of them, where it's kind of this thing where he's kind of like slowly like showing himself to them, but not like all at once.
And I think so too, to see where their faith was at. Like to see how much they took in from what he was saying. Because I'm going back and reading through, and when it speaks about him, what did I just say? Basically just talking about from Moshe to the prophets, and that journey, their trip. That's all basically he was speaking to them about. So he was speaking to them about himself in those books, that whole trip. Which seemingly, I guess he had to say that again, because it seemed like they wasn't thinking about it. They forgot, like, what he came to do, what it would look like. I guess he was trying to give them a picture of what took place and how their mind maybe should be, looking at the situation.
Yeah. And I guess when you think about kind of the shock of it all, really, because, really, like, they lost something great in Yeshua being killed. And so it's almost like the great change that happened with him dying, there kind of had to be kind of this obvious kind of a build up back to, this new reality that was going to be, without Yeshua physically walking around with them. And so I think it's interesting just to see kind of this like the build up to the kind of the coming together of all of the disciples with the risen Yeshua is just kind of interesting, and seeing kind of how he's just kind of like giving them a little bit at a time, I guess, until he gets to yeah. All right. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Yes. Do you have a real question?
She said she had. Oh, did
So
you
she
write
wrote
it
it
down?
down. Yeah, I like that. That's how you do it.
What was it?
All right. What is it? Oh, child.
Let me see. Is one of the reasons the New Testament, kind of like the Torah. Okay, she's talking about the promised land like heaven. It's a promised land like heaven.
It's like, I guess what people talk about as, yes, kind of like that, yes. Basically, yes. It's not as if we're going to heaven per se, but the place where the Most High will eventually dwell with us forever. Yes,
Yeah, it's a promise.
yes. All right, thank you. Thank you.
It's a good question. Good question.
All right.
Yep.
So that being said, we'll be done for now. Y'all willing? We'll be back on next Shabbat to continue with the last words of the master. I don't know if it's the last. It's almost the last words. He's about to be.
We didn't get to
Going
go
back
out
on
and make disciples of all.
No. He's gonna say that probably next year.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, for now, we'll say Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.